What is up, you guys? Pete DiCarlo here, and welcome to this new channel. If you guys don't already know, I currently run two other YouTube channels. One is Traders Helping Traders, which is approaching 40,000 subscribers, as well as my other trading channel, which is called DiCarlo Capital. And when I started those channels about a year and a half ago, my goal at the time was actually to build a channel based on entrepreneurship, personal development, business building, and over time, it quickly just turned into a stock market / trading channel, which I'm very happy about. And it is something I've been able to scale into a business that does over $300,000 a year in revenue. But the issue is I never got to actually do the channel that I wanted to do. And over the past 6 months, I've really been trying to turn my business into a legitimate business without me being a bottleneck and me stopping the growth of it. And this has freed up a lot more time so that I can actually do the channel and the videos that I want to do as a passion project for no other reason. Even if these videos get 1 view, I don't care. This channel is just for me. And what we're going to talk about in this video today specifically is value. And we're going to talk briefly about essentialism, but I'm going to do an entire video on essentialism by itself. And like I said earlier, that for the past 6 months, I have been able to scale down the amount of time that I work into working only on valuable things, which has made my life not only actually more productive from a value standpoint, but also just made me happier as an individual. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. Let's start by talking about value. Money is not attracted to time. It doesn't matter if you work 100 hours in a week or 10 hours in a week. What money is attracted to is results and the value that you bring to the market. This is why somebody who might push carts at Giant, like I did when I was younger for $9 an hour, is not going to get paid as much as an electrical engineer, because the value that each person brings to the market is not equal. And that's completely fine because we all start somewhere. But like I said before, we are attracted to results and the value that you bring to the market, not necessarily how much time you spend doing something. And this you can see across the board, right? There are people that if they make a YouTube video or if they make a course or if they make, anything that might take them a couple of hours, but they can sell it for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. That is all that matters. But the issue is when people know that you don't work hundreds of hours in order to produce that value, but you charge a high amount of money, or they just see that you're not working as hard as you should. This happens a lot of the time. I feel when a lot of people see that the amount of time that I work is not equivalent to the amount of revenue that the business does. Because as of right now, I'm only working about 25 to 30 hours a week, pulling in about $300,000 worth of revenue. And it's not because of the time that we're putting in here, it's because of the value that I have brought to the marketplace and all of the skills and things that I've learned in the past 10 years. And like I said earlier, people really do get upset if you're not putting in as much time as they are and you're getting paid a ton of money. We all know that person who is constantly bitching that a YouTuber or a specific person gets paid so much money for doing so little work, even though they don't really know what actually goes into scaling a business or scaling a channel or whatever in the hell it is. One of the biggest examples I can think of is trading. Somebody could say, oh, you made $20,000 last month trading. I'd be like, yeah, well, how long did it take you to do that? I trade about 30 minutes every single morning. So when you look at $20,000 in about 10 to 15 hours worth of work a month, people really get pissed off about that. Unfortunately, once you personally switch to the value state mindset, it all switches because you're like, oh no, he doesn't work 30 minutes a morning. He spent 10 years of losing his ass in the stock market, 10-hour days per every single day when I first started trading, learning charts, testing my strategies, keeping logs on all of my trades, doing journals to mentally figure out what I was doing wrong. People don't see that. It's kind of like the Pablo Picasso story, if you guys have ever heard it, that towards the later end of his life, he went into a cafe, he was drawing on a napkin, he drew out a beautiful, quick little sketch and illustration that somebody wanted to buy from him. I believe it was a woman. And she said to him, how much will you charge for that? And it was something crazy, like $80,000 or $100,000. And she said, how? That only took you 30 minutes to do that. He said, no, I'm sorry. It took me 70 years or whatever it was, 50 years to do a 30-minute sketch. That's how value exchange works. For me or for you or whatever your job is, let's even look at a plumber. For a plumber to come out and to snake out your drain or to come out and fix a drain very quickly, you might be like, dude, they just charged me $500 for a 20-minute job. But you can't do that. Not anybody. That you don't have the value or the skills or the knowledge in order to do that. So The point of this video is to go and teach you guys how you can focus on more valuable things in your life in order to not only become more skilled, more experienced, make more money, but just to feel fulfilled. Because when you do valuable things with your time, you just feel better. Now, in order to use your time in a more valuable manner, you have to go ahead and cut out the things that do not bring value. I currently on my whiteboard, which you guys can't see, says say no to 7 and 8s. And this means that if an opportunity comes up, if a potential trade comes up, if a potential investment comes up, if anybody wants to meet me for dinner or something, if I am not like a 9 or a 10, like hell yes, let's do it, I just will respectfully decline. I will just say no, because you have to start by saying no to the shit that doesn't matter before you can say yes to the things that do matter. Because somebody like me, I will just, before a couple of months ago, will go through and say yes to everything. And then my calendar and my schedule gets overwhelmed. And then randomly on a Tuesday, I have 5 of these things to do that I didn't expect to do. And it just becomes an issue. So the first thing you have to do is start to learn to say no to anything that's 8 and below. And the beautiful thing is that when you say no to anything that's an 8 and below, you get to spend all of your time on the things that bring value to your life, which I said will not only bring more money, but also more happiness into what you do. One of the things mentally that I will share with you is just the psychology behind doing this is very hard, because I feel that if I'm not killing myself, if I'm not working 10 hours a day, if I'm not constantly on my phone, constantly responding to DMs, responding to emails, I just feel like I'm not doing enough, and I feel like everything I've ever worked for is personally slipping away from me. Now, hiring a team, if you own a business, is very helpful, or a personal assistant, because they can kind of take over things and you can at least have a sense of like peace that, okay, somebody else is taking care of this. But I promise you, if you really just focus on the most important things, the rest of the shit will just kind of sort itself out. The crappy emails you don't really have to respond to will just kind of sort themselves out. Things, if it's that important, will find a way to get to you. And if they don't, then it really wasn't that important at all. And one of the things that I'm trying to do more in my life, and I call it I think it was like Tim Ferriss or somebody was saying that it's the essentialist mindset, or basically just the discipline of doing less. And discipline actually has a lot to do with doing less. And kind of let me explain here, right? Now, when you think of the average person who does nothing all day, your average lazy person who just goes out and puts everything to the side, procrastinates on everything, you think to them as they're not doing a lot, they are doing less. And in reality, when we look at this from a value standpoint, actively they are doing less, but they're not bringing value to things. I'm not telling you guys just to procrastinate and not do anything, but what I'm saying is mentally, it is very hard for somebody like myself or like you who has an entrepreneurial mindset to take a back seat in your life and to focus on less. One thing that I do want to say is if you're somebody who's starting your entrepreneurial journey, this might not really pertain to you unless you're a trader or something like that. And we'll talk about that later. But if you're starting your entrepreneurial journey and you're 18, 19, 20, or in my case, I was 27 when I started my first company, and you have no experience at all, you have to work like 12, 13 hours a day. I know that's at least 10. I know that sounds terrible, but like you have to learn. You have to learn a lot of things, and you also have to learn what you hate and what you want to hire someone for. And this doesn't pertain to you. But to anybody else, like even not talking about your own business, just in your personal life, this is important, and this can be done exactly today. But for me, like I said, it's a discipline of doing less, because if I'm not responding to DMs, if I'm not responding to messages, if I'm not checking all my emails, I feel like I'm just not doing enough. And this is not even for business. Even looking at the hobbies and the things that I love to do, I purposely don't do them every day. I am disciplined to not allow myself to do it. Whether it's something like yoga or working out, I will pull myself back and only do that 5 days a week instead of 7. A great example, and it's extremely nerdy, is Warhammer. I just got into Warhammer. There's like little figurines that you like paint and then you fight each other, and that's been like a nerdy hobby of mine. And somebody like myself, where like, I was gonna sound a little egotistical, but like the money doesn't matter. It's not like I'm strapped for cash. I can't go buy all the models I want, can't go buy all the paint I want, I can't spend 5 hours a day. Like I can do all of this. but I'm purposefully not, so that I actually get more joy of doing it, because I'm restraining myself from allowing myself to run rampant and just do whatever I want. And I'm telling you, it might sound weird if you don't do this and if you've never restrained yourself from doing the things that you love, but I'm telling you, if you just start just something small of like, okay, I want to go out and I want to go to a bar tonight, or I want to go out to dinner with my friends tonight, and you usually do it 4 or 5 times a week, pull back 2 or 3 of those times, and it will be so much more enjoyable when you're actually able to do that. When you're looking at the productivity and the business in your life, you have to think to yourself, what is the 20% of things that I do in a day that give me the 80% of my results in my life? And I actually pinpoint this down to everything, not just like my business, but what is the 20% in my love relationship with my girlfriend going to give the 80% of the result that I want? When it comes to cleaning my house, what is the 20% that's going to give me the 80% of my results? When it comes to my business, the 20% to give me the 80%. You can break this down line by line, from friendships, relationships, cleaning your house, like anything, like, because we really waste so much time, when you think about it, doing things that really aren't bringing value to our life. And when you look at a 12 to 13 hour day of you grinding, probably 3 hours of that was like you actually working or actually doing things that are really going to give you massive results. So for me, I had to stop responding to every single comment on my YouTube channel. Now, this might be different until we get to like thousands of subscribers and stuff, but I had to stop responding to everything. And it really hurt me psychologically and mentally and emotionally, because I love all the support that I've gotten from you guys and from everybody else over the past 2 years. But the truth is, if I want to put out quality content, if I want to put out quality trades, if I want to run a quality company and a business that's going to help people, I can't be sitting there responding to hundreds and thousands of sometimes of comments each and every single day. I just can't do that. I had to turn off my DMs from people on the Discord for the free people who are there. If you're in the mentorship group, you get direct access to me, but the same type of thing. I felt bad not allowing people to message me, but I can't be there responding to messages 8 hours a day. I had to stop worrying about perfectionism, worrying about the perfect thumbnail, worrying about, the perfect titles, all of that. I had to just focus on what was extremely important to me. Even editing, like this video, I will end up editing personally because I enjoy it. But my other YouTube channels, I'll do a 5-minute live stream just like this of me going over a stock, and it'll get 10,000 views and it takes me 5 minutes. Why would I spend 8 hours editing a perfect video to get 15,000 views when I can just spend literally 5 minutes to get 10,000? Those are the types of things. And then I thought to myself, with my business, what's the most important things? If I can only do 3 things per day to get me the 80% of the results, what are they? And for me, it's live streaming with my personal and private mentorship group each and every single morning. It's posting 2 5-minute videos per day, and trading. If all 3 of those happen, if I consistently stay a good trader, if I can consistently put out 2 videos each and every single day, they're only 5 minutes a piece, and if I can live stream every single morning, the rest of the business kind of just runs itself and things fall into the place. And so the goal eventually is to look at that 20% and then move it to 15%, and then move it to 10%, and then move it to 5%. Because like I said, this all comes back to value. There's so many problems in this world that can be solved instantly by somebody who has expertise, or somebody who, for instance, can bring value to your life. One of the biggest things I see this with is business coaching. You might have a failing business, and you could bring in a coach, and they might charge you $5,000 retainer every month just to come in for a couple of hours per week, but they can look at your team, they can look at your bottom line, your food costs, or whatever in the hell your type of business is, and they can very easily find the problem within your company and fix it instantly. And some people have problems forking out money for that because they've only worked a couple of hours, and some people like myself are like, dude, you just saved me a massive headache. I will easily pay you $5,000. So the point of this video, guys, is to get you to start focusing on more valuable tasks and cutting out the things that don't bring value to your life. And I will tell you, it's a lot easier to say than it is to do. And you don't need to do this all at once, right? I used to be a very like now or never, but you can't go cutting out all of your crappy friends and family that don't bring value to you. You can't go cutting out all of the toxic people you work with. You can't go cutting out all of the things that you're doing right now. But the goal is to slowly, surgically extract those people that don't bring value, those products that don't bring value, the things you do every single day that don't bring value, and to only focus on the things that do. Because when you look at the people who get paid the most amount of money in this world, all they do is valuable things. That's all they focus on. So I hope this video helped, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, comment down below different types of videos you guys want me to make. As always, I freaking love you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.